The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to
Good afternoon.
Table Topics.
Table Topics. And today it's Wednesday. It's the day after the big storm at the at City Council, which you didn't watch it.
I didn't see it because I was out of town yesterday. But it'd be great if you went over it a little bit to inform me.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, I don't think we had a chance yet to talk about the last city council meeting when they raised the water. Did you?
Yeah,
we talked about.
Yeah, I think we did speak about that a little, Carlos. How they raised the water fee, and I know there's a lot of issues on that because we're still paying for that stormwater issue that the state of Rhode Island sued us over. So that creates a big part of the water and sewer bills. So, but yeah, I think we did discuss that. But if you want to give a short summary,
just a very short a couple minutes on it was sure. I found it very interesting when the committee from the water department approved to send to city council the raise. And I was very interesting the question that I thought that after we'll have more people will talk more about. We have a background noise. I think it's Steve. Steve must be typing on his computer. I don't know if you can hear that. Can you hear that?
Just very faintly.
Yeah, no, I can hear it good. But anyway, it was very interesting because Sean Kadim asked the question during that meeting to if we don't give you this $240,000, what effects will the water will have the budget? And he said, well, if you don't give me the $240,000, if you don't give me this raise, I'm going to have to cut $600,000 on the water department, on the water, and $400,000 on the sewer. So I'm thinking, how much actually are we talking about here? How is that if I don't give you $250,000, you're not gonna have $1 million on the budget? So that other way came to my mind, and I was thinking, well, I hope the city council will catch this and will ask about it. So moving forward, that got approved and moved to full city council. During the city council, again, he comes and he says that he was raising with this raise will be just $20 a year average, $20 a year. And then I said, well, maybe the question will come. I come if we don't give you $250,000, you're going to have last $1 million on your budget. The question never came. And they approve it on. So from there, that question lead me into a second question, because average, last time I checked, when they talk about average, they're talking about single families with 3.5 people, based on 3.5 people, which doesn't make, the half people don't make sense to me, but that's okay. I will let that go, because Portuguese in Portuguese you say when you ask a girl if she's pregnant, she never says she's half pregnant. Either she's pregnant or she's not pregnant. She would never tell you I'm half pregnant. But that's Portuguese says, So what happens is now moving forward, they approve it. So, and they sell it as it's only $5 a quarter. Okay, $5 a quarter. But which quarter are you talking about? You're talking about the summer quarter, or you're talking about the winter quarter? Because if you're talking about the January quarter, I'm probably going to pay $10 more on the summer quarter. Okay, so even that $20, it's not even true. That's a lie. Okay, so if they're going to raise $240,000 on average person, an average person is those 13% that owns single families. So they actually going to raise $750,000 in second deckers, 4 deckers, 6 deckers, 10 deckers. But they never talked about that. They never talked about the 72% that's not average. And that's what they're going to raise the $750,000. They just talked about the average, which is single families, and they're only going to pay $5 a quarter. So that's what I have to say. Your answer.
Unfortunately, with the whole water situation, we're kind of always in a no-win situation, because we're paying for the sewer overflow project, and we've been doing that for the last 20 years. So they can always say that we're paying for that, so I get that. But I agree. I mean, you can't compare when they say average. They're always using a single family, and how many people live in a single family? I mean, I'm in a single family. You're in a single family. We have 2 people in each one. Some people have 5 people in one. So it's the average is I guess is average, but probably isn't, because there aren't a lot of people that you just have 2 people in a house now. A single family house. That's not common. So.
But it's very clear. It's clear like water, because if we didn't give them the $250,000, they were going to cut $1 million off.
Yeah.
So how?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's so clear.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is,
And again, I understand that if we want service, if we want good water, we need to pay for it. But the problem I have is, don't lie.
Yeah.
You're gonna track the city councils. If you don't give me this money, I'm gonna have to give pink slips to employees. So they're gonna freak out and they're gonna give you anyway. So let's put that clear. Every time that you come and you say that you're gonna fire somebody, that's it. You got everything from the city council. Okay, but that's the point. If you're going to get it, on the end that you're going to get it. Just don't lie.
Well, I think, and I didn't really watch a lot of that. Where did this increase? Why is more money needed? You know what I mean? Like, what happened? Are the chemicals more money now, or did you have to hire more people?
To me, you know why? Because the water department wants to save the world and wants to buy land. Okay. That has no business to buy. You don't buy land just because you don't want people moving in. You don't want, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if I run your business, and you give me a budget to run your business, okay? And now I'm going to take that money that's supposed to pay the bills to run your business, but I'm going to buy the lots next door because I don't like the neighbor next door. And I don't want to see his face here. Now I'm not being responsible with your money.
Well,
You know
I
what I'm
mean,
saying?
yeah, as far as buying the properties, they need to go through the Community Preservation Act. That's what it's for, to conserve,
And the city councils approve it. The city councils
yeah,
approve anything. They
yeah.
will
I mean,
approve
but
anything.
the Conservation Commission, I mean, the CPC, I think, is the great place to get the money for that, because it's not coming out of our budget, and it is they have a section in there about land,
Hmm.
conserving land. So I would think that would be the best way, and I think the water department has bought a lot of land through the CPC recently. So
Yeah.
um, you know,
Well, moving
it,
on
it's
to the beautiful uh, city council meeting last night. It was a mess. Full city council didn't start until 10 o'clock. So you probably
really
will catch it. Yes.
wow.
Because they back in session. They have to recuperate all that time they wasted not being in front of the camera. So now they want to get that time in, so they can get a good paycheck for it. But so to start, they had at least 5 letters from citizens input,
Wow.
and with people back and forth, city councils back and forth talking about the letters. Then, and the best part to me is now that the police was over budget, so over budget, and we understand that they didn't have so much stuff to attend, overtimes and stuff like that because of this what we're going through with the coronavirus. I understand that, and that's why they have some money to put back. But instead of putting back,
Almost out of curiosity,
what
do you know how much that money was that they gave back?
it's around a quarter of a million.
Oh, okay, all right,
Around 240, 230, 240, around there.
okay.
So, but what's funny is, and I know, and I just talked to Linda on the show half an hour ago about this. I think every department's going to have money left because they were not full function, okay,
Yeah.
for a couple of months or 3 months or whatever. But it was very interesting that now that the police have this extra money, they're not going to roll the money to free cash. They're going to roll the money into DPW to pay for a bill to pay for a bill that's due since 2017. That's, well, according to Mary Sahari, we in 2017 we only paid 11 months of trash, and so we've been rolling over. And she just found out now that we own 12 months, we own 1 month to the company due that was supposed to be due back in 2017. So that's the problem I have with Sahadi's lies.
Yeah.
So she knew about this hole. She knew about this mistake. But during the past administration was an extra $250,000 on the $8 million free cash that they didn't want to give up on it. Okay. So, and now she found the money. Perfect. Oh God, this was the perfect time to fund a bill that we need to pay for 3 years. But now, because we fund money that we're going to get back from the police department, now we fund the mistake and we're going to pay for it.
Well, it goes back to, right? And that was the same time we had enough money to get rid of the bags. Pay me now, pay me later, and we're going to pay later.
Well, that's even better. That's even better because now she's in front of the city councils with John Parry, and now we should never had give up the $4 million from the trash bags. Well, how can you stay there? Okay, you are the person that I hired, was not the mayor. we hire you to do our financial. Okay. So back then, instead of you approving the mayor's agenda, okay, and answering Sean Kadeen, because Sean Kadeen asked her, and I can pull the meeting, it's public. So she's sitting with Jazel on that same table, and Sean Kadeen asked her, not him, ask her, because she's the one that's supposed to be financially responsible. Okay, he asked her, do you think it is a good, responsible move, financial move? And she answered, right now we have our bills in order and we can give up the $2 million from trash bag. Now they're talking about 4 million, but back then they were talking about 2 million. Okay, so how can you standing there with that straight face, okay, and say that we should never give up the $4 million, okay, when you 2 years ago, you were sitting on that same table and you're telling us that it's okay, financial responsibility was okay, so you're a liar. You jump from boat to boat to serve you. This bill that's supposed to be paid 3 years ago, you found out the right the month after, the year after, you shut your mouth, you never said, you never paid for, you never found the money on the budget to pay for it. And now that it's the perfect opportunity that you found $250,000 coming back from the police department, okay, and going to pay for a bill that responsible, you are responsible to pay 3 years ago. And
is it surprising? Is it surprising or what? It's not surprising. I mean, it's unreal. I mean, and you know what we're going to find out later, Carlos, is that we know that people have come back online from the private haulers, right? We know people have come back since you don't have to pay for bags anymore. And then the trash has gone up, the tonnage or whatever. And have we even heard how much that's going to cost? That's probably another $1 million, I'm sure. You know, my thing is the 250,000 taken from the police, that should stay there and fund an extra person. That's 2 years of a person, and then figure it in the budget. But to give it to the trash thing, I mean, nothing surprises me anymore. You know, that was a whole big charade, and you know, people just went along with it. And
thank God, I say, and I said the show before. Thank God that the administration, before administration, did not have time to take the 35 water fee. Thank God that he didn't have time enough there to take the $35 fee from the water fee, because that same lady that's supposed to be responsible, financially responsible for our money, will be there and approve it. That's why I blame her. Back then, she will get all my credit. Back then, when she went on that table with the previous administration, okay, her job was to take care of my money. If I was her, I will give her credit. If she will say, I don't think it's a good idea financially, this money we can use, I don't think it's a good financially, I don't think it's a good idea. But at the end of the day, the mayor do whatever he wants to do. This way, okay, she will have to fend my money. Okay, she will not be short. And mayor had moved on, not be in power, but she will be a responsible person to lead my money.
I agree. It's so, and this is not going to get any better, because look at all the funding that was missed from March up until even now, people aren't going out the way they were before.
Mhm.
So where is that money coming from? So was there anything else, or was that the worst of it, of
Well,
the council?
yeah. I mean, I just found that the most interesting because it's just how this lady, and it's funny how she says, and the city councils are kind of telling her we need to find ways to get new money coming in. Not to go into the taxpayers for more money. We need new ways to and she says, well, every idea is welcome. Every idea is welcome. Anybody that wants to have an idea can come forward and can put an idea on the table. Well, guess what? They didn't get it. You don't care about my idea. You don't care about city council's idea.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't believe that no city council ever went to her with an idea, but nothing comes for it
Yeah. Well,
because they don't get the support.
we're in for some rough times, and this is just a minor part of it. So they've
Well,
got to get that together, and they need to be upfront with people now. They got to be upfront with people, because I think people are realizing, years ago, and I was always one to advocate. You know what? If you need the tax money to fix things like the roads or whatever, do it. Just do it. Get it over with. But the problem is now, because you know what, you got more for your money here in Fall River. But now the houses are pretty similar to what they are in the towns, maybe $20,000 or $30,000 more. But you know what? If you have kids, they're going to go to a town school. And it's just, the towns are run. A lot of the towns around here are run better because they have a lower population, they have a higher tax base, but it's fast becoming that this is not a bargain around here anymore. It really isn't a bargain. Especially if you have kids. People don't want to send their kids to the school system. And I think the people do the best job they can here. But I mean, I'm just being honest. Ask any realtor. They would prefer to have their kids go to a town school. So what do you have here? Our roads are horrific. I mean, I just came back out of town. You come here and I feel like I'm in like Iraq. Well, actually, Iraq and Afghanistan probably have better roads there, to be honest with you. So what are you getting for your money here? But I think, times are going to be tough over the next year or two. And they got to be honest with people and say, this is where we're at. This is where we're at here, And I want to know, even like, we got the marijuana money. Like, where, you've been getting all these new funds. You need to put it out there and say, we got $7 million more, because I know the state reps bring in more money every year. Where is that going? That extra $7 million. The budget went up 7 from last year.
No, but the problem is if they're going to tell you the truth where the money is, then they're not going to have that cushion. That's what they call it, the cushion, to move that money around, okay, and to close accounts, to pay bills that we don't know that we still own them, okay?
Yeah.
Because it makes no sense, okay? We have just this week, I had a truck falling apart, picking up my trash.
Oh, God.
All the ladders were peeled. I don't know how many companies that truck already belonged to, okay? And everything. And I'm paying for brand new trucks. I'm still paying for a truck that should be 2 or 3 years old. Brand new trucks. I'm still paying, and my trash is being taken up by a junk. This is, you know what I'm saying? It's like,
it's frustrating. It's frustrating.
And then comes down to the city council. That's what I told Linda on the show before. You can blame anything you want with the mayor. The mayor has 1 vote. You guys have 9 votes. Nothing would pass without those votes. Either you guys going to do the job, going to represent this, the taxpayer, okay? Or then this is never going to stop. Because if I'm a city council, I will never say, no, I will not sell my trucks, okay? Because I just bought $30 million for trucks Okay, my taxpayers, me, I'm going to have the next 20 or 30 years paying for a bill that I'm not using.
Carlos,
The phone.
Take care there.
I'm paying for a bill that I don't even have the stuff. I'm paying for it and I don't have the stuff. So they can blame any administration. They can blame any mayor. The end of the thing is stops on they vote. They allowed all these people to do this. They allowed all these people to get away with this stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm going to change the subject there. So I agree with you. Totally agree with you. So before we started the show, we were talking about a few things. One of them is there is some word out there that they want to change the pledge, the national anthem to like a song like "Stand by Me." So we're in this new phase of all this stuff. So if anybody remembers in high school, there was a book 1984. It kind of talks about what's going on right now, where they try to change history. They're tearing down statues. They're renaming songs, renaming things. So it's kind of like 1984. And if anybody reads, different things that come out there, it's been on the news, but very short-lived. There's some kind of committee or whatever. It's called the World Economic Forum. And a bunch of the people just recently met some of the folks in there were like Microsoft, some of these big companies across the world. And they give input. And they were talking about the Great Reset. And I don't know if people are hearing that term now, but over the last 6 months, you're probably going to hear it more and more. And the Great Reset they talk about is to reset the economy, reset education, resources, because everything's so unfair right now. This whole capitalist system is very unfair. So they want to reset all this. What happens when we reset things? The resources, we only have a set of resources. So when you reset something, what are you going to do? So what they're talking about in the World Economic Forum is to spread those resources all over the place, and to make everything equal. And that sounds great. Sounds like heaven, right? Everybody's equal. Everything's equal. However, not everybody is. I mean, we have different mindsets with work. Some people work 20 hours or whatever, and they build businesses. So that's where capitalism comes in. You work hard. This is where you go. So if you look at some of this that's going on, this is just repeating history. It's kind of like during history. You see these movies on World War II with the Nazis, and I always would say, why didn't anybody say anything? They did. There were a few people that did that were pretty brave. But basically, people didn't say anything because look right now. If you say something, we have this cancel culture that'll immediately jump on it, and everybody's afraid to lose their jobs. They're afraid to get harassed. And I'm starting to look at history and read it more and say, this is probably why people are afraid. They needed to eat, they needed a place to live, and they just kind of went over it, I think. So I think people just need to. I just want to, spend these last few minutes of our show to like look out there. Don't just listen to Fox News. Don't just listen to CNN. Don't just listen to MSNBC. Each of those channels has a bias, and they have their own mission, I guess, if you want to say. One is opposition, and the other one's controlled opposition. So you just need to look at different things, read different things in different publications, and make up your own mind. Be a free thinker. Don't listen to what people say all the time. Like this whole mask situation. 6 months ago,
I think.
God.
I think, and this is the to wrap up. I think after November 4th, everything will be fine.
Oh yeah, of course it will.
Remember that. So we just have to survive another 3 months. But
Well-
that's the end of the show. Thank you, John, and see you